Hello board game brothers and sisters, and welcome to another episode where I'll be letting you know of Kickstarters launching this week. And as you can see here, the house is in a little bit of disarray, so first things first, let's change up the scenery. Hello board game brothers and sisters, and welcome to Greece. Woo! The weather's beautiful here and I'm all settled in, so let's get to the Kickstarters. The first campaign we have launches on October 20th and it's called Vanguard, and it plays 1 to 4 players and takes about 45 to 180 minutes to play. And in this game, players are commanders of a vanguard of ships and they're trying to complete their mission to see what's into the far reaches of space. On the way, you're going to run into asteroids, defense stations, and even some powerful automated enemies. This game uses a unique physics-based control system where you're going to be defining vectors in order to control your ships. I believe this means that it's going to be based on the fundamentals of physics. It's not actually going to be anything like a dexterity game. And there's going to be an assortment of different missions which are going to dictate the sort of modules and crew that you're going to want to employ. This game is going to support basically any way that you want to play, including solo, co-op, competitive story-driven missions, skirmish, or even building your own scenarios. This game uses mechanisms like action points, critical hits and failures, drafting, events, and simulation. And the next campaign also launches on the 20th, and it's called Townsfolk Tussle. And it plays 2 to 5 players and can take 40 minutes up to 3 hours to play. And in this game, your beloved sheriff has passed away, and ruffians are coming in droves to take advantage of your defenseless town. It's up to you and your fellow villagers to fight back and show those ruffians whose town this is. And Townsfolk Tussle is a co-op boss battler where in each game your goal is to take down 4 unique ruffians, each one tougher than the last. You're going to be exploring the area and gathering gear to strengthen your town as you try and take out these unique bosses. This game features that old school rubber hose style of artwork, which I think is really fun, and it also includes some miniatures which also follow that style, which makes them look very unique compared to other miniatures that you've seen in other games. Next, I want to announce the first giveaway, and this is for Trivia Trolls, and this plays 4 to 12 players and takes about 20 to 60 minutes to play. And Trivia Trolls is a trivia game that also throws in a little bit of Take That. I actually really like the way that the Take That is implemented in this game. It's done where you have to set a trap and then your opponent actually has to do something to trigger the trap. This method seems a lot more fun to me because it has that extra layer of chance and I actually have to trigger it, so it feels like more a part of the game rather than the typical play a card to harm another player. Players are going to be competing in teams, and the clue giver on that team is going to want the rest of the team to guess a word. The team is going to be able to discuss and decide how difficult of a clue they want, and the harder clues are going to result in more points. The first team to 11 points wins the game. And to enter this giveaway, all you have to do is leave a comment with the hashtag #TriviaTrolls and either leave me a riddle or you can try and answer my riddle. And my riddle is, I have one face I'll always hide, but when you look at me, you'll see my eyes. When I give an answer, I hold it high, and you'll always take my side. What am I? And the next campaign, also launching on the 20th, is called Aetas Renaissance, and this plays 1 to 4 players and takes about 45 to 90 minutes to play. And this game is a re-implementation of the original game Aetas, released back in 2016. This is a fantasy game, but it takes place on historic events of the war between Venice and Rome. This game is based on classic JRPGs where you'll be gaining new classes, skills, and equipment along the way, and the decisions you make can impact the course of game events. This game includes miniatures and incorporates mechanisms such as action points, dice rolling, grid movement, a modular board, role-playing, storytelling, a time track, and variable player powers. This game is published by Ludus Magnus, which I did have some issues with the past, but they are making some internal changes, and I do believe in second chances. They put out a nice little email saying that they're trying to make their whole experience a little better. I won't get into the details, but I'll put it on the screen now. Next on October 20th, we have Here Be Dragons Into the Unknown, and this plays 1 to 6 players and takes about 1 to 4 hours to play. This is a competitive game that takes mechanisms from strategy games and RPGs where you'll be building up your character and building a territory and upgrading it along the way. This game features mechanisms like action points, alliances, dice rolling, a hexagon grid, map additions, and player elimination. Players can gain victory points by defeating monsters, building their settlement, and completing quests, and the first player to reach 10 victory points wins the game. The next giveaway we have is for a copy of Twisted Fables, and Twisted Fables is a head-to-head game for 2 players where players are going to be taking on the role of some badass steampunk fairy tale females using deck building to build their deck in order to attack, defend, and move their character along a track. Throughout the game, you'll be unlocking different tiers of cards, leading up to even some really powerful one-time use cards that can unleash some devastating attacks against your opponent. And this giveaway is for the Deluxe pledge, which includes all contents from the Standard Edition, as well as the Flood and the Flame expansion, the Dark Machinations expansion, a 2v2 upgrade pack, a neoprene game mat, 30 upgraded cards with foil, as well as upgraded standees to miniatures. And to enter this giveaway, all you have to do is leave the hashtag #TwistedFables and let me know who your go-to character would be. For me, it'd be Snow White or Sleeping Beauty because they look absolutely terrifying in those renders, and I think they'd look pretty amazing all painted up. On October 20th, we have Annapurna, and this plays 2 to 4 players and takes about 30 to 60 minutes to play. And this is a competitive game where players are going to be racing to get to the top of a mountain peak first. You'll be uncovering different cards as you explore the mountainside as you run into different dangers that you're going to have to overcome along the way. Also on the 20th, we have Midnight Murder Mysteries, and this is the 2nd edition, and it plays 2 to 5 players and takes about 60 to 90 minutes to play. And this is a competitive game where players are private detectives competing to solve a mystery first. You're going to have to answer who was the murderer and what was their motive and how did the victim die. Also on the 20th, we have Treasure Hogs, and this plays 2 to 5 players and takes about 20 to 30 minutes to play. And this is a competitive card game where players are archaeologists that are trying to unearth and steal as much treasure as possible. Players will have different resources of varying values, and the higher that these values are, the less likely it is that you can have your treasure stolen. When all treasure is claimed, the player with the most wins the game. Next on the 20th, we have Peacock Block, and this plays 3 to 5 players. It takes about 10 to 60 minutes to play. And this is a competitive take-that style game where players are competing to win the love of the female peacock. This game offers 3 ways to win. You can either fill your love meter, gather and complete all pieces of the ring, or collect 10 feathers. You'll be trying to do all this while other players get in your way. Also on the 20th, we have Mesofauna, and this plays 1 to 4 players and takes about 90 to 120 minutes to play. And this is a simplified alternative to the game Megafauna, where players are competing to evolve their very own new species, building up different characteristics to win victory points and win the game. Also on the 20th, we have Elemies, and this plays 4 players. It takes about 30 to 90 minutes to play. And this is a game where 4 players are split into 2 teams, and they're going to be battling, collecting treasure, and trying to get rid of their cards first to win the game. This game incorporates mechanisms like hand management, ladder climbing, memory, trading, and trick-taking. And this is the first of many games to take place in the Elemies world. The next game launches on the 21st, and it's called Hegemonia Senki. And this plays 2 to 5 players and takes about 45 minutes to play. And this is a competitive game where players are leaders of their clans, and they're going to be fighting for supremacy of the Hegemonia continent. In this game, you'll be gathering resources and leading your citizens, all while fending off or negotiating with other clans in order to expand your power. This game incorporates mechanisms like area majority, area movement, hand management, set collection, and trading. The first player to build up 4 of their own bases wins the game. Also on the 21st, we have Godz, and this plays 2 players and takes about 30 to 45 minutes to play. And this game brings 3-on-3 street basketball to life in a 2-player head-to-head board game. You're going to choose 3 players to put on your team, and then you're going to be spending resources to move, pass, and play action cards. Players will roll dice to see whose action cards become successful, and players will also be performing different actions to try and earn special greatest of all time cards that grant special abilities. And the next giveaway we have is a pledge for Radioactive 𝗚𝗺𝗍, which is a competitive game for 1 to 4 players, where players are going to be placing different honeycomb tiles, trying to have the most of their colored bee visible to earn points at the end of each round. Each round, the hive is going to get taller and taller as players place more tiles on top of the existing tiles, exposing more of their bees while hiding some of their opponents. Players can also spend actions to place radioactive rings around their bees to upgrade them and make them worth more points. Placing enough of these rings will turn your bee into a radioactive queen bee. And if there's 1 or more queen bees created, the game ends at the end of the round. And this giveaway is for the Royal Honeycomb Edition pledge, which includes the 1 to 4 player full edition of Radioactive 𝗚𝗍𝗄 with all unlocked stretch goals. And all you have to do to enter this contest is let me know a way that you like to use honey with your food. Also, we have Grand Austria Hotel, Let's Waltz, and this plays 2 to 4 players and takes about 1 to 2 hours to play. And this is the first big expansion to the game Grand Austria Hotel, and it's going to include 5 new modules as well as upgraded components. And the last campaign launches on the 23rd, and it's called Widget Ridge Emergence. And this adds new expansion sets to the core game where players are competing in a steampunk world to build inventions and win the most points. As you can imagine, it's been a pretty hectic past few days, and I've been working hard to try and get this video out. It was pretty tough for me to film and get this out this week with the big move and everything else going on, and I hope the quality wasn't too much less than normal, but we'll be in a better position to film these videos next week. So I hope that you can appreciate the effort that I've put into this, and if you want to help out the channel along with helping out yourself, definitely check out kickstartergames.com. If there's a specific game you're looking to buy, I definitely recommend checking that out because a small percentage of any game sold will come back and help this channel. Also, if you're looking to sell any games, kickstartergames.com will help take them off your hand as well. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time this week to go through my normal process for drawing the winners for last week's contests, so I'll just do that on my own and then I'll put the winners on the screen now. I've still got some unpacking to do, so I'm going to get to it, and until next time, keep that shelf cluttered and the table full.